Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and today's video. I recently shared both my morning and my skincare routine in videos, and I will put those down below if you have an interest in seeing them. And I was asked by quite a few people for some more affordable options for some of the products that I'm using. Unfortunately, a lot of the products that I use, or some of the products, are on the pricier side. You know, some people buy shoes, I buy skincare, and I'm lucky enough to be sent things from brands. But today I wanted to do something different, and there's sort of two strands to it. One, I'm doing a more simplified routine. My regular routine has a lot of steps, but that's because I enjoy it. For me, it's ritualistic, it's self-care, and I like taking my time. And that includes not only topical things, but also anti-aging devices. So this routine does not have any of those things in it. And then secondly, I'm trying to find more affordable options that you can find at your drugstore or in the high street. So as an American living in Ireland a very long time, I wanted to make sure that these were products, unless otherwise stated, that you can find on both sides of the pond. So primarily I was focusing on Target because it's big and they got lots of options. And over here I was looking primarily at Boots, which services both the UK and Ireland. So all of these products are for me and my skin. I am 52 years old. I am on the dehydrated, somewhere, anywhere between normal and dry. And right now I'm dry. So I'm looking for super hydrating products. So that's just specifically for the stuff that I'm going to reach for and are suitable for my skin. So starting off with my morning skincare routine, the first thing that I generally do is just wash my face when I'm in the shower. CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser, it was actually on my other video as well, is something that I have been using for years. This is a super gentle gel-like cleanser. I've probably purchased this more than any other cleanser on the planet. Now, I do have to say, as an aside, after watching a video recently by Gemma over at Pampered Wolf, I'm trying to not wash my face in the morning and see what happens. So I'm in the shower. I actually, for the past week or so, haven't washed my face in the morning. I just, splash some water on it, which seems to be going just fine. But if you want to do a morning cleanse, then that's the one that I use. Now, this is an optional step, and this is the exfoliant step. Now, I have included one here by The Ordinary. It is the 10% lactic acid. I used this for years and it's a great product. I don't have it here. And the only reason I don't have it here today is that I'm using an entirely different exfoliating system. So I didn't go out and purchase it. And some of the items I talk about today, I didn't purchase, very few of them, because I don't want to not use them and waste the money. But if you're looking for an exfoliant, and I do think that anybody over the age of 40 really should have a regular gentle exfoliant in the routine. Now, if you think the 10% lactic acid might be a bit too strong, they do also offer a 5%, though for me, 10% I was using every day for years. It's a great product. Probably do it 2 times a week now is what I tend to do, but it is good to get it in there to make sure that you are exfoliating your skin. So next up is the antioxidant stage for me. And so for this, I have chosen a vitamin C serum by Simple. This one is the Booster Serum 10% vitamin C plus E plus ferulic. It costs, I think, $7 for 30 mils. And it turns out this is a really lovely product. You do need to give it a good shake before you apply it. But I found that it was slightly kind of thicker than I was expecting, because a lot of the vitamin C serums I use are kind of on the watery side. This was much, much nicer. I found it way more hydrating than I anticipated. So I would always apply this to dry skin. Any kind of watery vitamin C serum, unless otherwise stated, should be applied to dry skin. But I have to say, this surprised me. For $7, I thought this was an absolute bargain. So I've been using this for the past couple of weeks every single day, and I really, really like it. So if you come here, you know I am a serial mister. I am all about layering on hydrating products, because that's what my skin needs. So this is the brand Bioma, and I talk about it all the time on this channel because I think it is such a stellar brand. It is affordable, it is easy to find, and they have really good ingredients that just do good things for your skin. Most of their ingredients include what they call a triceramide complex. It has ceramides, fatty acids, and cholesterol, all there to boost our skin's barrier. And I love this range because everything is focused on protecting our skin's natural microbiome. So that means it's feeding it all the good stuff it needs in order to be balanced and to be happy. So this also contains allantoin, which is good for soothing the skin, and it also has that probiotic ferment, which is there to help feed our natural microbiome. It is super affordable. This mist, I think, is $14, 14 pounds. When I first purchased this about a year or two ago, they had real problems with the pump, and it was just squirting off into my face, but they seem to have resolved that, which is great. It's a nice little mist, and I think this is a great product. I think all of their products are great products. The other drugstore brand in the misting category that I have used for years is by La Roche-Posay, another brand I think can do no wrong. It is called the Toleriane Ultra 8. And in fact, I thought I had it here, but it's actually at work. So throughout the day, you will often see me at my desk like a weirdo just doing this. they've come to accept it. It's just who I am. Now, the next step in the routine is absolutely optional. You do not need this, but it is an eye cream. Now, personally, I do need this. And not only that, I tend to do 2 products, an eye serum and an eye cream. But for the sake of a simplified routine, I have only chosen the eye cream. This one is by CeraVe. This is called the CeraVe Eye Repair Cream. This is another great drugstore brand. This retails for $15. And I've been using this for years. I always take this with me on the plane. I always have this in my little kit of things I take when I do my spa day on the plane because it's small, it's portable, it has ceramides in it. In fact, CeraVe is another wonderful drugstore brand. And I find this creamy, I find it hydrating. And for me, I really focus on my eyes because I think that's where I'm starting to get. It's not even the crow's feet because those puppies aren't going anywhere. It's more the crepiness. I really hate that sort of crepey, textury, like it's lost all of its elasticity. And I found that if I plump it up, then that makes it look smoother and it just makes it look more hydrated. So for me, this is a must. And for the price of $15, it's a no-brainer. Now, as an aside, if you were in the US, this is the product that I would be buying. It is by Naturium. It is called the Multi-Peptide Cream, and I think it retails for about $16. Naturium is a brand that I can't get here. Now, they've started selling it in the UK at Space NK, but I'd have to spend money to import it because they're not in the EU anymore. So I'm not buying any Naturium here. But you can bet your bottom dollar when I go home, I'm going to pick this up because that's another incredible brand that's doing incredible things for incredible prices. So that's what I'd be running out to get myself if I lived in the US. It's a peptide cream. I feel like it's going to do even more for that area. So if you're in the US, head to Target, or I don't know if they sell it anywhere else, but it's $16. I'd be buying it. So next up would be my hydration phase. I like to do some sort of hydration serum or something. And in this case, I'm using Bioma again. Now, I have bought this product probably 7 or 8 times. I keep repurchasing it, and I find that it is super hydrating. It really gives a punch. It just makes your skin feel so soft. And again, you cannot beat the price point. This costs $14. So I can buy this at Boots and I can buy this at Target. So generally I buy it at Target when I'm home because the dollar was stronger. It's not working out that way at the moment, but I just find that in a Target sweep, I pick up a few of these and bring them back. In addition to the triceramide complex, it also has vitamin E, it has glycerin, and it has squalane. So it's just packing full of all of those hydrating elements. Yay. And then, because I like a hydration sandwich, I missed again. Missed. And then next up would be the moisturizer. So basically, I want to lock everything in, and my moisturizer is there to do just that. Something that's new to the Bioma range, and I only just picked up last week because I'm so excited. I'd heard about it, and I finally got my hands on it. It is their new product called the Moisturizing Rich Cream. This thing costs less than $16 or 16 euros. So in addition to the triceramide complex, it has bakuchiol and it has shea extract. And it is much richer than their gel version moisturizer, which I did try last year and just wasn't heavy enough for my skin. This one is. I really, really like it. I mean, it's not going to compare with my Augustina Spatter. Who am I kidding? However, it has a refillable pod and you just can't beat the price. So to me, this is, if you need a really affordable, incredibly good and effective moisturizer, this is the one. Now, having said that, there are a couple of other ones I would recommend. Now, one that I think was in the previous videos is by La Roche-Posay, and this is sort of what I use for barrier repair if I need something extra. This is called the Cicaplast Balm B5, and this is just when I need something extra. It's like putting a blanket on my face. If I've done some medical microneedling within the past few days and I'm having a lot of transepidermal water loss, it just... I find it soothing, and it has incredible ingredients for just making the skin feel better. It does contain 5% panthenol, which is exactly to do that, is there to soothe. It's really good for irritated skin, and it's even suitable for babies. So this is good for the whole family. So if you're feeling you need something extra, that you're a bit parched, this is a fantastic product. There are 2 others I'm going to mention, and one I haven't purchased in a while, but I think is underrated and really not given the kudos that it should, is Olay. The Olay Regenerist range in particular, I have used for years. It is deeply hydrating. Well, it can be a lot of different things, actually. They have a really heavy version, like they have a regular version, they have a rich version, they have a light version. They have one with vitamin C, collagen, retinol. They have a number of different products, and I have to say, they're really, really good. And I haven't purchased them in quite some time, just because I'm always tinkering with other things, but you can't go wrong with Olay. And then there is one more that I'm going to mention, even though I haven't tried it. And again, if I was in the US, I'd be going for Naturium. They have a multi-peptide moisturizer that I'm dying to get my hands on because it's less than $20 and the Inky List is fabulous. I think when I'm home, I'm just going to buy everything in the range because they've got incredible reviews, but they've got really good ingredients, and I just love a budget skincare range that's just trying to bring out good stuff for people that doesn't break the bank. So watch this space. I'll be coming back on that one later. Very last thing in the morning, which is completely non-negotiable, most of those other things you can take it or leave it, is your sunscreen. You gotta have an SPF. Now, the one that I have found, the drugstore one, the only one that's a drugstore one I think you can get in both places, is by Garnier. And I just did my 2023 sunscreen challenge. If you want to go check out that video, I'll put that down below as well. And this featured as a 5 out of 5. This is called the 50 Plus Super UV Invisible Serum. It costs 15 euros and it just disappears into the skin. It is incredibly lightweight. It is a chemical sunscreen, just to warn you. I don't have any problems with it whatsoever, even putting it over my eyelids. And it just is the perfect foundation for anything else I'm going to put on it later. And it just soaks up and leaves a perfectly beautiful, seamless little finish on it. So for me, this is one that I would repurchase again and again. And if you're looking for affordable, and if you're looking for one that isn't going to irritate your skin, and it leaves a light finish and disappears, this is the one. Now, another one I know that you can't get over here, and this is again for US. Sorry, you guys, I seem to be skewing US, but y'all have so much more than we have here. This one is by Undiscovered, and it's called the R&R Sun Serum SPF 50, and I know you can get it at Target. That's why it made the list. It does cost 28 bucks, but to me, I think spending on the right sunscreen, if you're gonna wear it every day, is worth the spend. So this is a tinted mineral sunscreen. It is beautiful. You can layer as many layers as you want because you know you gotta wear a lot of sunscreen and you gotta put it on in layers and make sure you don't miss anything. And you can layer this up, no bother. It's beautiful on the skin and it's beautiful under makeup. So that's one, if you're in the US, I'd be checking out. Me, I shipped it over. So I'll probably pick up some when I'm over there next. Okay, and now we're moving on to the evening skincare. Now, I start off with something that's not in this video. I don't have any footage because when we recorded this, I wasn't wearing any makeup. Usually I start with an eye makeup remover, which is micellar water. Now, I have used Bioma for years. Now, I do know they sell it at Target. They sell it in every chemist here in Ireland, but there are other brands you can get for less money. Simple does it. I know Garnier does it. Just about every brand has a micellar water. Now, I use that just to get my mascara off because I just can't stand when I use an oil or a balm and the stuff goes everywhere. I just don't like it. So I put it on a pad and I just kind of wiggle a little bit and I take it off. Speaking of which, I just realized I didn't put any mascara on. I'm not wearing any mascara right now. It's not the first time I've done that. Anyway, so once the micellar water phase is over, then I go in with either a balm or an oil. Personally, I prefer the balms. I have chosen, it's not going to be a big surprise, Bioma. This is my first time using this, and I have to say, I really like it. This is called the Melting Balm Cleanser. It retails for about 17 euros here. And I found it really effective because there's some that kind of leave a film or they bother your eyes, and this doesn't do any of those things. And I've used some less expensive balms that just, they sting. I just don't like them. So this is just a little bit more luxurious than some of those. And I found it highly effective. And I think it's also refillable, which would be great if that's true. I don't have any idea where to buy the refill packs, but it must be online at Boots. But I think anything that's in that refillable space is great. Now for me, I always use a cotton double-sided knit. I just find it's easier for getting everything off. So I do one side of my face with my balm cleanser, and then I go in and I do a second cleanse. And for that, I would just use the CeraVe again, the same hydrating cleanser I used in the morning. So I put a little bit of that on my face and I rub it in. Sometimes I do facial massages, whatever. I do want to make sure I get all the sunscreen and all the makeup off. Then I use the other side of the mitt to take that off. So when that is done, I am left with really nice, but still hydrated skin. Okay, and now you're going to see a lot of the repeat products from the morning. There's no need to have 2 sets of everything. I use 2 sets for different reasons. I want different things to do different stuff. You don't need any of those things. So after I've done my cleanse, I immediately go in with the mist just to rehydrate the skin. And because wet skin helps absorb products better, and that's just a rule of thumb. That's why I like to mist in between as well. Then I go in with my eye cream. So a little bit more of my CeraVe, or if you're in the States, the Deuterium. And then I go in with my serum. And I'm going to use the same hydrating serum from Bioma that I used in the morning. Then generally I would mist again, and then I would go in with the moisturizer. Surprise, surprise, I'm going to use Bioma again, or I would be using the Naturium if they had it. Or I would be using my La Roche-Posay if I needed something that was a little bit thicker and a little heavier. And then I wait a while, and about 2 hours later, or right before I get into bed, is when I apply my retinoid. Now, I'm a tretinoin user, so that means it's by prescription only, so I did not purchase any products for this. So I don't have any products here, but the ones I would be buying are this. If I was in the US, I would be using Naturium. They have a retinaldehyde serum cream. They actually have two different strengths depending on where you are, 0.05 or a 0.1. For me, I'd be going for the Mac Daddy at the 0.1, just making sure that you build it into a routine very slowly. This is the one I would be using if I was in the US. Now, if I was here, it's actually not a drugstore brand. It's a brand, actually, it's in the drugstores now. You can get it, or no, they're gonna have a US site. I just heard that within the last day or two that they're launching in the US. They're called Geek and Gorgeous. I talked about them in my morning skincare routine because they are another extremely affordable range of really, really good products. And they are starting to become very well known for their retinaldehydes. So they have a 0.5 and a 1% as well. And very, very effective, very, very strong, and incredibly inexpensive. I think they're running around $20, which is amazing. So those are the two that I would be trying. Now, I know they're not necessarily drugstore, but as far as I'm concerned, they are affordable brands. They're probably more affordable than a lot of the things that you can get in the drugstore. Like, for example, the Olay moisturizer I talked about usually runs about $35, whereas you can get the one from Naturium for around $20. So while we are on that topic of drugstore, not drugstore, if I was in an oily skin phase, and I have been in the past because I skin test about every 3 months with a test called the Skin Trust Club, where you swab your cheek and you send it off for analysis and they tell you where your skin is. I have been oily, balanced, and dry all within the last 9 months based on what the microbes on my skin are saying. So when I went oily, there is a brand that I fell in love with, and they're called Blur London. I've talked about them quite a few times, and they are specifically formulated for people with oily and combination skin. They have a couple of products now, a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer. And when I'm oily, that's what I use. And in fact, their toner is probably my favorite toner of all time. And I'm only not using them right now because my skin is now skewing too dry and I need really hydrating products, not things that are going to help control sebum production. So if you haven't heard of Blur London, I think you need to give them a try. Now, even though they're in London, you US folks, they will import to the US and pay for all the import charges. So you don't have to pay for any of that. And it's also incredibly affordable. Their products are less than 18 euros. So that's one I think anybody with oily or combination skin really should check out. So guys, that is it for today's video. That is an affordable skincare routine that would allow you to kind of build those steps in. It is very much anti-aging. It is geared towards someone with a slightly older skin that might have a few more steps. And I don't know, do you know of these products? Have you tried any of these products? And are there any products that you think are missing? And if you have any other pointers, please put them down below because everybody wants to learn from you too. And your feedback and input is always welcome here. So I really appreciate you joining. And if you like the look of this video, please do subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up and maybe even share with a friend. So thanks again for joining, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.
Ha 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 ha.